So Blink is a story about two women who are both very lonely, but they're very funny people at the same time, and they are just, I think they're quite isolated at the beginning, aren't they? And they somehow, one of them reaches out to the other one through a baby monitor, and they are able to, one of them is able to watch the other one, and their love kind of blossoms from that.
At the beginning, Blink was originally a heterosexual relationship. It had Jonah, a male character, who essentially stalks Sophie, the female character, through the baby monitor. But it is different from just a simple stalking play in that Sophie essentially gives her permission to be stalked through sending Jonah the baby monitor. We've changed it to two women, Esther and Sophie. Liddie plays Sophie, who sends Esther the baby monitor after her dad dies, and she's lonely and she's sat in her flat, and she just wants someone to talk to. She's just been released from her job. This all sounds very heavy. It's a comedy. And so Esther receives this baby monitor and sees this woman on the baby monitor and just kind of falls in love with watching her, and it evolves in that thing of she derives pleasure from just watching her going about her daily routine, seeing another human being going about their life, and they start to do things together. So they watch the same TV shows but in different apartments, and after a while it evolves into Esther following Sophie around London, and they go on dates together but don't ever acknowledge the other person. And what the play is two monologues essentially, where both characters talk to the audience about their different experiences of the situation. So you've got Esther hiding behind a bin going, no one's going to see me, she's not seen me, and Sophie going, I can see her, she's hiding behind a bin. Like there's some real elements of comedy to it. So in some ways it's really light-hearted and really lovely. It's a really sweet love story. It doesn't end how you anticipate it. The ending is both satisfying but also truthful to both characters, I think, because they're very unusual people. They're very lonely people, but they're also they have very distinctive identities that you wouldn't actually think go together, but they sort of, as all great love stories are, it's two very different people that get along. What I think is different with this new play is that we've now got the LGBTQ angle, but also it explores themes that are not necessarily the most appetising traditionally. You don't look at a stalking relationship and think, oh, I really want to go to that, that sounds like a good laugh. But it takes that experience and it makes it funny and engaging in a way that I didn't think it was possible to present that sort of relationship. Really interesting and well worth coming to see. They do speak to each other and they do have really hilarious interactions, but predominantly it's a relationship with the audience, and you are talked to and you feel engaged. And he has a way of writing that is both storytelling and also a conversation between audience and actor. Everybody's had a feeling of feeling very isolated in a crowded room, and these two characters are in the capital of the city. They are at an age where it should be the most sociable time of their lives. They are technically in an age where connecting with people is the easiest thing in the world, but for varying different reasons they are unable to do that. And I think that is a feeling that almost all of us in the company, almost all of our generation and older, have related to at some point. So I think it sparks really interesting conversations about how we make friends and engage.
I think Sophie as well, she has just lost her dad, and she feels like he was one of the only people that could see her, and now she's kind of losing her sense of who she is, how she interacts with other people. And this particular experience, it sounds, without any context, it sounds like, why would you allow someone to stalk you? But I think she needs the validation of someone else, and knowing someone else can see her, and knowing someone else sees importance in her being, that is really important to her. And the fact that they find out each other and their relationship builds through a monitor, that's not good for them, but they clearly depend on each other at the beginning and give themselves the confidence, particularly in Sophie's case, gives her the confidence of, I am actually present, I am important. And I think it's as much of a romance as it is quite empowering for particularly my character, Sophie.
I think it's worth saying as well, like, if you think what your character does is weird in sending a baby monitor and inviting this person to essentially stalk them. Esther's as weird, if not weirder, and it's just these two very specific characters that have a very, you know, as I say, specific way of living, and they kind of just click, you know, and it's really wonderful to watch. Really great.